Call to order the 36th meeting of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, meeting in regular session. This is Monday, July the 13th, 2015. May we all stand for the invocation by Reverend Litchfield.
You join me in a moment of prayer. Almighty God, we gather this evening hour to conduct the business of this city. We offer our prayer for our mayor, for the president, for the members of the city council, and for all in authority. Grant unto them a sense of justice, strength, and wisdom as they perform their duty on behalf of all thy people. We commend this nation, our armed forces, our law enforcement, and our fire and rescue to thy merciful care and understanding. Remember those upon a bed of affliction, comfort those that mourn. In thy name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Ms. Nicholas?
Here.
Ms. Crary?
Here.
Mr. Smalls?
Here.
President Ricks?
Here.
Mayor Mel?
Thank you. Please note that if you wish to be heard at this meeting, that you would sign up on the speakers list to my right and to your left to sit back at the rear of the room. Thank you. We'll now have the approval of the minutes of the 35th meeting of June the 22nd. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls. Thank you, Ms. Curry. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
President Ricks?
Yes. I now call for the approval of the minutes of closed session of June the 8th of 2015. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Smalls. Madam Clerk?
Ms. Crary?
Yes.
Mr. Smalls?
I vote yes.
Ms. Nicholas?
Yes.
President Ricks?
Yes. Thank you. I'll now call for the report of the Mayor and City Council, starting with Ms. Nicholas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Myself, along with the rest of my council colleagues, attended the Maryland Municipal League. That was very nice. I'd also like to thank the 4th of July Committee for the 4th of July Parade, and I'd like to thank all of the departments, including the police department, for it was a wonderful time. Thank you.
Ms. Curry?
Thank you, Mr. President. In addition to the MML, it was a wonderful event. And we also learned a lot there and met up with a lot of colleagues that have some of the same problems and as we do, and it's always good to share in their information. There was also somebody beside me that was honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's usually given to a much older person, but I guess he's sworn it well. I'd like to send out best wishes to Mike Les, and hope he's feeling better and on the road to recovery. Thank you.
Mr. Smalls?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll be very brief. I'd like to congratulate Mayor Mo on his Lifetime Achievement Award, as well as Councilwoman Crary for being re-elected to the Maryland Municipal League's Board of Directors. And in repeating, but I don't think it can be said too much, well wishes to Councilman Les.
Thank you. I'd like to also add my congratulations to Lou Ann Crook, Special Assistant to the Mayor, for her election as President of the Clerks Association. I hope she does well with that. I know she will, because she does a good job for us. I, too, attended the MML convention, and it was very, very well done this year, and I think that we all came back with some things that we can use here in the city to make it even better than it is. I, too, just talked to Mr. Les a few minutes ago before I came here, and he is sounding really, really good, and I can tell he's not in as much pain as he had been in the past. So really, our thoughts and prayers go to you, Mike. I just want to bring just a brief little comment about our situation with the railroad station. I've gotten many emails, as well as my colleagues, about that particular situation. We are working very diligently to get to a positive conclusion, and we will keep all our residents posted as these things continue to unfold. Thank you. Mayor Mo.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple things. Let me wish a speedy recovery to Councilman Les, As I stated to him earlier, to him and his wife both, if they need anything, please feel free to contact us here at City Hall. Also, congratulations to Donna Crary, who's a member, re-elected to the member of the Board of Directors for the Maryland Municipal League. Donna, wish you the very best. I think that says a lot for your re-election on the job that you do on the board here. Congratulations, as you heard, to Lou Ann Crook, Executive Assistant to the Mayor, who is elected as President of the Maryland Clerks Association. Also, the city did receive their Banner City recognition. We're, I think, one of 8 municipalities that has received that since it started. This was our 7th year. So again, I want to thank the council, thank the staff, because that requires everybody to take part in certain activities to get that designation. Also, Laurel TV was recognized with one of the achievement awards, and I want to recognize and thank them for that as well. On the 13th, we did have the Relay for Life opening ceremonies. I want to thank all the city staff that helped set up, clean up, and participate, as well as took part in the event of raising funds. We look forward to working with them. That was held down on McCullough Field, and the money was raised for, as you all know, for a good cause. I did have the opportunity to attend the Fort Meade Covenant Council signing over at the Fort Meade Museum again, which were all the different counties and participants in the covenants. So again, I want to thank the Colonel for hosting that, and I was glad I was able to take part in that as well. The Laurel Lions Club did hold their charter night and installation of officers, so I want to thank them for the invitation. I want to congratulate Kay Harrison, who is now the King Lion, Queen Lion, I forget what they call them, president of the organization. So congratulations to her as well. The 34th Annual Recognition Night Dinner at the Laurel Beltsville Oasis was happy to attend, along with Councilmember Crary and Councilmember Nicholas over at the race course. They do a lot of great work, the Laurel Rotary and the Oasis, and I was glad to take part in that. I want to thank all the volunteers. Most importantly, I want to thank all the staff that participated in the volunteer picnic over at Goody Park. That's our way of saying thank you to the many volunteers for the many hours that they give day in and day out to the city of Laurel. And as you know, the July 4th, the Independence Day celebration, Corrine, I want to congratulate you as the chair and your volunteer staff that did an excellent job. I know the weather, it sometimes didn't hold out for us. We got the fireworks off, the parade off, and I think everybody enjoyed themselves. There were a lot of people there. And to all the city staff that participated, from our police department, from our code enforcement, park and recs, public works, thank you all, our police, fire, and rescue, for the work that you did. As I said, there were a lot of people here, and it took a lot of time to get those people in and out of the city. I did appoint the Citizens Master Plan Review Committee July the 1st. You know, we put in the temporary moratorium. Those appointments have been made. Mr. Brock will be sending a letter to those members for a first committee meeting, as well as Councilman Ricks, our council president, has accepted chairing the what we're calling the McCullough Field Review. That is to look at lighting, different uses of the field, turf, all of those different things. Those appointments have all been made, and I would think in the near future a meeting will be held on that as well to start those discussions. Mr. President, I have a few appointments. James Phelps to the Tree Board, 7/13/15 to 7/13/17. Ed Rowe, Public Safety and Transportation, 7/13/15 to 7/13/17. Don Grazak, Public Safety and Transportation, 7/13/15 to 7/13/17. Mitzi Bateman, Planning Commission, 7/13/15 to 7/13/20. That concludes my report, and I'd ask for your concurrence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilpersons, you've heard the mayor's recommendation on the appointments he's just brought up. Can I have a motion to accept?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Ms. Crary,
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas,
Yes.
President, I'm sorry, Mr. Smalls,
Yes.
President Rex.
Yes. And thank all these people that continue to serve and represent our city in these fine different ways, and it really does help us all to do a better job. Excuse me. At this time, I will call for the general public hearing, and I'll open the public hearing at 6:10. Is there anyone wishing to speak? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 6:10 and a half. And at this particular time, we'll take number 9 on our agenda, which is a consideration of a recommendation to reject the bids for project LA 15-4 Van Dusen Road Bike Path. Mr. Free.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, we went out to bid to do the bikeway along Van Dusen Road from Kilbarron to Conti Road. And all the bid packages came in ranging anywhere from $452,000 to $750,000. At this time, we only had close to $300,000 in our budget. We want to reanalyze the scope of work and add some more street projects to it, hoping to get a better deal on a package. So we're recommending that we reject all these bids so we can do that.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the council? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
Mr. President, I move that we reject bids for project LA 15-04 Van Dusen Road Bike Path.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Smalls,
I vote yes.
Ms. Crary,
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas,
Yes.
President Ricks.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Free. Item number 10 is the introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 8-15, a resolution concerning the mayor and city council of Laurel tax increment refinancing special obligation bonds in Towne Centre at Laurel and Series 2013. Consent to transfer of bonds and continuing rights and obligations under the bond documents. Mr. Drury, you care to speak?
Yes, sir. Mr. President.
Hit that mic there, Bob. Green light comes on.
There we go. Bob Dory, Miles and Stockbridge Bond Counsel. The current owners of the Towne Centre at Laurel are in the process of selling the center to another investment group formed by UBS. And in connection with that sale, the other thing is, I guess the current owners of the mall or the center are also the temporary owners of the TIF bonds that were issued in 2013 with the expectation that those bonds would be remarketed to the general public when the tax assessment and the tax increment get to a sufficient value. They are looking to sell the center and to assign their rights under the bonds to this new investment group. And the way the bond documents are written, the city, while the bonds are in that mode, has the requirement to consent to the transfer of the bonds and to the assignment or amendment of the funding agreement where those covenants are contained, and certain of the other bond documents. The purpose of this resolution is to authorize the mayor to give that consent upon such terms and conditions as he may finally determine, which can also include, based on the newest version of the resolution, which I think is the one that Kim said as 317 today, which would also include allowing the mayor to amend, restate, or replace any of those particular documents in order to make it an efficient process in conjunction with that consent. At the work session, I indicated that it's my understanding that the current owners, because they are an investment group, have an obligation to their investors to sell the project at this time, because they've been involved with it for such a long period of time. There was such a delay between their acquisition of the project and their expectation the bonds would have been issued around 2008 and when they were actually issued at the end of 2013. And obviously, I'm here to answer any questions.
Well, yeah, I think it's one thing we want to make sure gets onto the record, and that is the fact that in doing so, doing this action, the city of Laurel loses no money whatsoever.
Absolutely. The city's obligation with respect to the bonds is solely to pay the bonds from the tax increment, which is the 70%, actually 70% of the tax increment, which is the increase in taxes attributable to the improvements that have been made to the property within that district, basically the center and some residential property there. If those revenues are insufficient, bondholders are the ones taking the risk. Right now, it's the current owners of the property and then the new purchasing group. The city has no obligation other than they have agreed to divert a portion of the increase in taxes for the period of the bonds.
Okay, questions from the council? Anyone? Okay, thank you, Mr. Ray. Mr. DePietro, you care to comment on anything?
Oh,
Okay,
I-
go ahead.
I did want to make one further point. Because the current expectation at least, of the buyer and the seller are that they would be able to close their transaction before the council's next meeting. They have requested that I request that the council introduce, suspend the rules, and pass this resolution, giving the mayor the flexibility to make that final decision.
Thank you, sir, I appreciate it. Any questions about that from council? Well, we talked about it at the work session. This time I'll take a motion.
Mr. President,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I move that we suspend the rules.
Second.
Mr.
Madam
President,
Clerk?
I believe you need to open the public hearing first.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. I'll open a public hearing on this item at 6:17. Is there anyone wishing to speak beside Mr. Drury? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing at 6:17 and a quarter. All right, Mr. Smalls, I'll take your motion now.
Okay, I move that we suspend the rules on resolution number 8-15.
I read it.
And I second.
I did read it, didn't I, Madam Clerk?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. Okay, and I have a second by Ms. Crary. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please, on the suspension.
Mr. Smalls,
I vote yes.
Ms. Crary,
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas,
Yes.
President Rex.
Yes. I'll now take a motion to approve resolution number 815.
Mr. President,
Yes?
I recommend that we approve resolution, I don't have a number here. You say what,
8-15.
815.
815, as read into the record and explained by Mr. Dory, bond counsel.
Okay, Mr. Smalls?
I will second that motion.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Ms. Crary,
Yes.
Mr. Smalls,
I vote yes.
Ms. Nicholas,
Yes.
President Rex.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you all. Item number 11, introduction and first public hearing on ordinance number 1852, an ordinance to amend the operating budget of the mayor and city council of Laurel, Maryland for the fiscal year July 1st of 2014 through June the 30th of 2015. Ms. Saylor.
Mr. President, as we discussed at the July 8th work session, this is an amendment to the FY15 operating budget. I provided today some additional information based on some adjusted figures that came up since the work session. There is a, excuse me, there's a highlight on the first page just outlining that there were excess in collections in various revenue line items and savings in various expenditure line items that are proposed to be transferred to the capital improvement program for cash funding of street improvement, park improvement, and information technology projects that will follow in an amendment to the CIP for FY16. On page 2, there are additional highlights. These are numbers that changed since the work session. There's an increase that we want to recognize from real estate tax revenue of $75,000, an increase in interest and penalty that was already collected of $20,000. There's an addition of $50,000 in other local taxes. That's the excess of admissions and amusement tax collected based on the movie theater. The next line down, the addition of 97,021, we discussed an increase of 47,000 on Wednesday, but the additional 50,000 is from actual receipts for hotel motel tax. The permit category of revenue collected has an excess of 100,000. And the general government surcharges, that additional 100,000 is based on collections of passport fees and zoning application fees. So the overall increase, in addition to what we discussed on Wednesday, is $1,195,933. So that will provide $934,771 to be transferred to the capital improvement program for cash funding of additional projects besides what's already been adopted in the FY16 CIP.
Okay. Any questions from the council on this so far? No? Okay. What's the pleasure of the council? Oh, wait a minute, that's the first one. That's the first public hearing, so it's a record. Any other questions? Okay, that's fine. Let's take a 5-minute recess for the mayor. right, we're back after a little recess, and it is 6:27 PM.
Mr. President,
Yes, Ms. Query.
I'd like to move that we reconsider our action on agenda item number 10.
Do I have a motion to bring it back to the floor?
You do?
Have a motion, I second that.
Okay. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Roll. Ms. Query,
Yes.
Mr. Smalls,
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas,
Yes.
President Ricks.
Yes. Just to make sure that we are all clear on the action that we took with this item prior to when Mr. Drury was here, that's item number 10. Where I'm going to accept the motion to reconsider this item, and I'm going to read the title of resolution number 8-15 into the record in its entirety. A resolution concerning the mayor and city council of Laurel tax increment financing special obligation bonds, Towne Centre at Laurel, in parens, Series 2013, authorizing the city to consent to transfer of bonds and continuing rights and obligations under the bond documents, and to enter into an amendment restatement of replacement of bonds documents. A resolution adopted to authorize the mayor and city council of Laurel, in paren the city, A, to consent to the transfer by Laurel Rising as owners LLC and Laurel Rising as owners second to paren, not paren, LLC of one, the current owners' right, title, and interest as owners of the city's tax increment financing special obligation bonds of the Towne Centre of Laurel project in parens, Series 2013, and two, certain of the continuing rights and obligations of the current owners under the related funding agreement, bond purchase agreement, and indenture of trust, and or B, in paren, to enter into an amendment restatement and / or replacement of the funding agreement and / or one or more of the other bond documents in conjunction with such transfer, assignment, and assumption and related purposes. So I've read this into the record. I'd like to have a motion to suspend the rules.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Smalls,
I vote yes.
Ms. Query,
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas,
Yes.
President Ricks.
Yes. Now take a motion.
Mr. President, I move that we adopt resolution, is it still 8-15?
Yes.
Okay, as read into the record by the council president.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Smalls,
I vote yes.
Ms. Query,
Yes.
Ms. Nicholas, President Ricks.
Yes. Thank you all. We'll take care of it. All set?
I'll concur.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Mayor Bell.
I concur.
Thank you all for coming. Good evening.
It's awful late in the evening.
I haven't a copy of it.
So you seconded or?
I just want to take a couple seconds to, we talk in acronyms, and if you're around the government a lot, you understand a lot of things automatically. The public at home does not. And probably a lot of people don't even know what MML is. But the Maryland Municipal League is an organization representing the 157 cities of the state of Maryland.
59.
They play, well, 159, 2 aren't members, I don't count them. They do all the lobbying for the cities. They do great educational programs in the whole 9 yards. And I guess it can be considered by some people to be very self-serving, coming from you all, that they hear convention, Ocean City, and not realize the amount of work and the amount of commitment by the city officials in this town, as in a lot of towns, but particularly Laurel's involvement with the Maryland Municipal League. And that's every council member being there every day from morning until the evening. And then in the evening, there's more activities, and it's 100% commitment. And we've had the luxury of council members on the board. Craig is a past president of this organization. Donna just went back on the board. Fred, I believe you were on the board. You were also the president of the Prince George County Municipal Association. And a lot of the staff people here have served on committees and taught classes, and this is year-round. It's not just in Ocean City, and it takes a lot of commitment of people's personal time to do this. But the networking and the creation of being able to exchange ideas. Kim has been the president of the State Clerks Association. Now we have Luann going in as the president of the Clerks Association. And last but not least, in full disclosure that yes, Mayor Mo is a personal friend of mine. I've watched Craig in the political arena now for many years, and to not only go into the Hall of Fame, but the honor he received by getting the State Achievement Award is a major thing recognized by your peers across the state of Maryland. And it's a great thing. It brings great recognition to this city. It helps people at the state and federal level make decisions to help us in this city when we have a problem. And I think I can certainly speak on behalf of all the past mayors and council members, and I know all of them, that we're very proud. We thank all of you for commitment that you've made to continue to make this city great. And Craig, to you, fantastic. Congratulations, you deserved it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else caring to speak? Seeing no one, we're adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Petro.